Welcome back to another episode. I'm Marisha.
And I'm Thais.
And we are the Lucky Girls.
Today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about pet peeves.
A little bit? No, we're going to get into it.
Yeah, our pet peeves, I think.
This is going to be a fun episode because I get annoyed really easily.
Yeah.
And I think pet peeves are also a little silly too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like little annoyances that like bother you.
Right.
But some of them are like very serious to me, like, stop.
Yeah.
Oh, sirens.
Good thing Juno's not here.
Yeah.
She'd be out there.
Yeah, okay, so we have our own pet peeves, but we also, again, asked our followers, to list some of theirs. We should talk about ours first, I guess.
Okay.
A pet peeve of mine.
Some of mine. I can't remember mine. There's too many.
But
you can go first.
Yeah. So, my biggest pet peeve is hearing people eat and like smacking and chewing. Just any of that, or also repetitive noises.
I wonder if some of these also are like sensory issues.
Yeah, I think mine might be a sensory issue.
Yeah.
It's my I don't know. There's a term for it, but I forget what it was. But I had just saw it on.
Oh yeah,
on TikTok.
like there's an actual word like misophonia or something.
Oh, I think
like
it is that.
Yeah.
Where it was like just sensitivity to noises, I think. And
but like especially of like people like chewing.
I think chewing is like a really big one.
Yeah.
And I think I have that because it can be.
I will not eat bagels around you.
Yeah.
Because no matter how I try to like not make the sound, I can't not make the sound. So I'm just like, I just won't eat bagels.
You've ate a bagel in front of me, like
recently.
Not like super recent, but we have our sleepovers with the Disney crew.
But I think because we're all talking and stuff, that it drowns out my sound.
But growing up, when we would eat breakfast together, it was silent in the mornings and it was super quiet, and so all I could hear was you like chewing your bagel. Do you like your bagels crispy or like just like slightly toasted?
Slightly toasted.
I think that's another reason. Because it's not.
No, I like it more toasted but not crispy.
Yeah, I like mine crispy. I like mine like I still want the outside of it to be like soft, but I want like the top of it, the slice of it, low-key like black. It's like really dark brown.
Patrick made my bagel the other day, but it wasn't burnt, but it was burnt to me. And so I just ate like the top, like the part that had the cream cheese, and just like bit into it like this and left the bottom part.
Ew. I probably would have seen them and been like, did a baby eat this or something? I probably would have thought like a trace ate it or something.
Okay, so yeah.
I think that's like my biggest thing. It's just like hearing noises. But also to kind of go into like that what is it called? Misophonia. Repetitive noises. So like people clicking their pens like too much, or a really big one is alarms or noises like going off for too long.
Yeah, turn it off.
Yeah, Adonis used to have his alarm go off. Like he would sleep through his alarm and he would go off for so long, to the point where like I would actually get up out of bed, which is like big for me. I would get out of my bed, go downstairs and knock on his door and be like, your alarm, like turn off your alarm.
Yeah.
Because I would hear all the way up here.
Patrick has his on and it's just it's only on vibrate, and I will like shake him to wake up. I'm like, your alarm is going off. And then he turns it off and goes back to sleep and doesn't wake up until I get up to get everybody ready for school.
Yeah.
What's that about? Just turn your freaking alarm off.
What's that about? I thought you were asking me at first.
No. So clearly that's a pet peeve of mine too.
Yeah. But maybe not in like a sensory way. You're just like, get up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna wake everybody else up to go do what you're gonna do, like, then get up.
Yeah.
Woke me up.
Get up. Another one of yours is when people say anyways instead of anyway.
Yes! I don't know why that annoys me so much, but like
anyways instead of anyway.
Yeah. And anyway is the correct way, but because it's so accepted to say anyways, people just say, like, it's not wrong, but I don't like it.
Technically it is wrong. It's just
accepted.
Yeah, normalized. But I it's not a pet peeve, but I do notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, also really reminds me of Ellen. Yeah. I don't know if anybody has ever watched Ellen, like religiously, like me and my family, or like
literally every day after school we would watch Ellen.
And there's like a portion like in her at the end of her thing, and she'd be like, anyway. And so now, like growing up, I always said anyway like that, and so I think now that's probably why I noticed some people say like anyways.
Yeah, because could you imagine? Yes. Anyways.
I just imagine Ellen with like her really short blonde hair, like and her like little button up, and her going like anyway, and like her legs crossed.
Yeah, but it also reminds me of our parents growing up. Like instead of saying Subway, they would say Subways, and they would always yes, and like it wasn't until I had a boyfriend where I'd be like, oh yeah, I want some Subways, and he goes, it's Subway, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. That happens a lot, I think, naturally.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who do that, where they add an S to certain things that don't need to be added.
Yeah.
Especially like Squid Game.
Yeah.
People say Squid Games.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Like, I understand why, because they're playing multiple games throughout the Squid Game.
Yeah.
But
I like the way Mom says Bella Sienna.
She's Bella Sienna's. Yeah.
But it makes sense, because it's like, it belongs to Bella Sienna. Like, I get why she says it. Like, why she says it.
It belongs to Bella Sienna's.
Yeah, it's a restaurant that belongs to her. Like, I get it. I get why she says it.
Another one that you submitted to me was using vocabulary incorrectly in the attempts to sound really smart.
Yes. Okay.
That is a really good.
So this is a good example. So I used to work with someone, and she was a doula. And I think this is what pissed me off even more, because I was like, you're a fucking doula.
Yeah.
And so she was asking for our nurse to come do a home visit for a client, because she thought that the client may have some like retained uterus tissue.
Okay.
Placenta tissue. And she was like, yeah, she's like having like prodromal labor or something. And I was like, you can't have prodromal labor after you've given birth. Prodromal labor is when you are like in labor, but it's like false labor, and you can be in prodromal labor for a long time, where you like will have consistent contractions for like a few hours, and then it just stops. And so I was like, you're just trying to sound smart. Shut up.
There's my coworker was telling me that they were at work on like our site in a different city, and I guess like a homeless person walked in, and my coworker was like, oh, well, you here to see so-and-so, and then that person picked up on that name and like ran with it and was like, yeah, I'm a social worker working with so-and-so, blah blah, but they were talking so professional and that it made it seem like they were actually like there.
Wow.
And then eventually she's like, I think something happened, and then my coworker was like,
you're
crazy. Yeah, you know this person. But it's funny because like sometimes it works, like when you just speak professional or you sound professional, it can work if that person is not aware.
I think that like also if you're using the words correctly.
Well, yeah, but like if that's what I'm saying, like if somebody didn't know, and like I didn't know what that was, so I would have probably believed her, because I don't know what it is, but you're educated on that, so it's like you're like, oh, she's using the term wrong, so now you sound stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
But like for somebody who doesn't know, it's like, okay, like I believe you, which is really dangerous, because I feel like a lot of maybe doctors probably do that.
Yeah.
And then they're giving on like, they're not purposely maybe giving wrong information, but it could be taken on.
Yeah.
And you also had slow walkers, but especially on the stairs. A pet peeve of mine is when people use the escalator and don't, if they're standing still,
they don't stand in the middle.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be on the right if you're standing so that the left side is for people who want to go up quick and like walk up there. Also, I think it was Patrick who told me that like escalators are supposed to be walking on the escalator. It was you?
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever. Because who does that?
That reminds me of when I went to Vegas, and we're coming back from Vegas. So I was in the airport, and we're standing on the little like escalator, but it just goes straight.
Yeah.
And so like I'm walking this way, and
now.
there's like a girl right here and a guy right here, but the girl is like standing against the rail with her legs like this, so we couldn't even walk through them.
Yeah.
And I was like, move. You're supposed to be on one side. If you're not gonna walk, don't block the way. And
you're so sassy.
I was hungover too.
Oh.
And it was my 25th birthday, and so I went really, really hard. And I was just really hungover and tired. And
did she say something back to you?
She was like, "Jeez," and
I would probably do it this way.
Well, follow the rules.
that one's a little bit more like understandable, I guess, because like like you might as well just be walking.
I didn't have to be rude though, but
yeah,
like at the same time, like I could have been like, "Excuse me, like, can you go? I'm trying to walk."
Yeah, I think you could have just.
But I was just
yes, it's okay.
Yeah,
she probably still like hates you for that. That girl. She probably thinks about you
all the time.
I think. Oh, another one you submitted was incorrectly. Okay, that kind of goes into the using vocabulary incorrectly.
Yeah, I think I mixed them up.
You said incorrectly using psych terms like narcissistic, borderline personality, and trauma bond.
Yeah,
which kind of goes back into like the using terms, and like in the professional way. It's
that
similar
too, but also when people are done wrong, like when they feel like someone has done something wrong to them, that they're like gonna diagnose them with being a narcissist or having borderline personality to like say that these are the reasons why that person's a bad person.
It like validates their feelings of like by putting like a label on it.
And I think that not everybody is a narcissist. Not everybody has borderline personality disorder. Like, don't label people, but also not everyone who has borderline personality disorder or has any type of diagnosis is a bad person. And so I just like, and trauma bonding, like people think that when you've bonded over a trauma that's a trauma bond, and I'm like, no. Trauma bond is Belle and Beast, where she like falls in love with her capture, and there's like an imbalance of power. And so like
why is that a trauma bond?
Because like this person that has power over you, because it's Stockholm syndrome, but like that's what it's nicknamed, but the term is trauma bonding or being in a trauma bond. Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard that.
I think it's interchangeable, but Stockholm syndrome is the same as a trauma bond. And so the trauma bond is when two people are in any kind of relationship. It could be mother-daughter, it could be relationship.
Okay, so tangled in her.
Yes, and exactly. Okay. And so this person in power that has power over you manipulates you into thinking that they are the best thing for you. Okay. And so they'll use that to like emotionally abuse you and things like that. And so then this other person feels becomes bonded to that.
Okay, okay. I didn't know that. I guess like most people do think it's like you've shared like siblings share a trauma bond because they've like
and the thing is like it's a pet peeve, but I understand that it also comes from ignorance. And so I'm just gonna be like I'm just like, that's not what that means.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like not even worth it to like explain to certain people, but thank you for explaining because I didn't know that. So these are some of the I gots. Somebody also said slow walkers, which I also agree because growing up with mom walked so fast everywhere. We were always on a mission to do literally anything.
Walk with a purpose.
Yeah, we walked with a purpose no matter what we were doing, even if it had no purpose.
Yeah.
And that was like instilled in us. So I think that like
I am getting out of that,
yeah, me too.
But I still don't like being stuck between people who are like shuffling.
Yeah.
Like I want to be able to have a consistent stride.
Yes. Yeah. That's how I feel like walking in the city, low key, like on a busy day when some people are like walking, especially in a group, when people are walking in a group. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine. When they're walking
in a group. Like don't be in a line. Like don't be like taking up the whole sidewalk.
I understand like two people and then two people or however big your group is. And like being kind of like staggered that way.
Yeah.
But being like taking up the whole sidewalk in one row also annoys me.
Yeah.
That's the same thing like with the mall.
Yeah.
Like, they walk like I don't know. I'm always like weaving through people because I get annoyed. Somebody said when people sing along to songs but don't know the actual lyrics. That is a really big pet peeve of mine too.
I specifically remember Selena Gomez singing to Espresso. or something, and you're like, she doesn't even know the words.
I think it was when she went to the concert.
Yeah, when she went to the concert,
it
she
can't
was, like,
be.
singing.
It can't be Espresso. Everybody knows that song.
Was it Bedchem?
Maybe.
I think so. It was. Oh yeah, because she sings Espresso at the end as her encore. So it had to be something like in the middle, and she was like dancing to it, and then like
I think
kind
she
of
had
singing.
like she like was saying lyrics, and I think it was just timed off weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is possible, but you were like, ugh, she doesn't even know the lyrics.
Which is big for me to say because I love Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
And there. But yeah, there's a video going viral right now of this girl. I think it's like a video of maybe like a prom or something that's going on, and it's a girl, and I want to say that she's singing "They Not Like Us" by Kendrick Lamar, and it's like it's recording the stage or whatever, like the dance floor, and she's like front and center, and she's like singing the part before, but she's making it seem like she knows the lyrics, but you could tell she doesn't. Because if you really know the lyrics, it doesn't sound like it, or it doesn't look like it. And then she gets to the part like the chorus where she can actually sing it. But then she kind of looks like super aggressive and like awkward at the end of it.
Yeah.
And people are like, why did she stand in the front?
Yeah.
Like she should move. And I think that is that's a valid pet peeve.
Yeah. Like learn the song. Like there's literally
just, like,
no excuse why you don't know the
just
song.
like dance. Like it's okay. You don't know the lyrics. Yeah. But I get it. Like sometimes maybe you're learning the lyrics and you're just mumbling. Because sometimes I do that too. But I try to do it privately, like in the car or something. Somebody said dust. A pet peeve. Like if maybe if somebody, they didn't really elaborate, but maybe if like something's really dusty, I'm like looking at this. Yeah, I'm looking at that spider web right there. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Or it's a dust web. I don't know. But I low-key hate dusting. I think it was because it was my chore that I never did growing up. It was my chore that my mom doesn't give it to me.
It used to be my chore until I had to get more adult chores.
Like?
Washing the dishes and cleaning the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your dusting was like when you were like 8 or 9.
But she was so intense with the dusting. You can't have the picture. Like the items needed to be exactly.
I know. I used to have to like take a picture of it, or I would like pick it up and dust it and then put it back down.
But it kind of like it was hard to still do it because you have like so many items on it.
Yeah.
I'd be so afraid to like dust. I think that's probably why I don't like dusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, dust. I guess it's okay. That's a good pet peeve.
Yeah.
And then chewing with your mouth open, which Adonis said traffic. Yeah, I know a lot of people who don't like traffic.
Yeah.
And Dad's one of them. Dad does not like traffic. He will
weave in and out.
No, he will go to a different route. Even if it's longer, but because it's full motion, it feels like it's shorter. He doesn't like being like standing.
Waze will do that for you. Like Waze avoids traffic for you.
You can do that, but I'm saying that Dad will purposely go and weave through traffic even if it's longer because he feels like it's shorter.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's longer. Like you might as well just stay in the traffic.
Yeah.
I don't really mind traffic.
I like traffic. That's my me time. I sing, have full on concerts.
Yeah.
Like
I don't like traffic because it's like
I don't mind it though. It's not something that
you know what I hate. I don't like stop and go traffic because people speed up and then you have to like brake suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather be bumper to bumper.
Yeah. Where you're just like creeping.
Yeah. And then somebody said inconsiderate people. Yeah, I mean that's a pet peeve. It's just like be kind, be nice, just be patient. I don't know, be a good person. Yeah. And my last one was from Jasmine, and she specifically said from Jasmine, and she said a broke ass N-word. Yeah, that's a pet peeve first. Yeah. Yeah. Did you want to read yours?
Sure.
It's just these two.
Okay. So the ones that I got was when people pace each other on a 2-lane road. So like they're blocking people who can pass around because they're just like next to each other on a 2-lane road.
I'm not gonna lie, if somebody's riding me, I'll purposely do that so that I don't have to go.
Me too. Another person said a man breathing. Just when men.
Yeah. Somebody also sent me just men
Yeah.
in general, but I don't know why I didn't say it, but yeah, she said that.
This is funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody else said that when girls say slay and the overuse of the word like in a conversation. So
the word like in a conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, me too. I've noticed that with certain people, they say like after every word.
And I used to do that a lot too, but I'm trying to make a more conscious like decision to not say it. And it's just a filler word.
Yeah.
Because it's the same as saying like
yeah. I know now we're gonna be over.
It's the same thing as saying in a sentence.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Not
you use It's okay.
Not having good basic command of English if it was their first language.
Huh? Who said that?
Rika. Basic command? Okay, I don't know what that means.
Sorry, Rinka.
Yeah, those are all the ones that I got. But I'm gonna see.
Oh, see.
The one
another page. No, that's it.
That's it. That's all I got. So I was actually telling Patrick about like this theme that we're having, and we kind of talked about it too. And I was like, I hate when you're having a discussion and you guys are making the same point, but in different words.
Yeah.
But the other person still thinks that you're saying something
different.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah. That is a pet peeve because
I'm like, you're not
just
listening.
Yeah. There's no listening skills. A pet peeve of ours. I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, just listen.
Yeah.
Please.
Another pet peeve of mine is when I have headphones in and people try to talk to me. Or if I'm reading a book and somebody, like, I'm freaking reading a book. You can see I'm reading a book and somebody talks to me. I hate that.
Yeah. Like, I'm busy.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess if you're, like,
if it's
urgent or, like, telling me something, like, serious, and But, like, just talk to me for no reason. Go do something else.
Just unnecessary talking.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Grandma does that to me in the morning.
Yeah.
She'll come in and I'm eating or talking to Artemis or doing something, and she's just having a full-on conversation. I think one time she was doing that to me, and I just like went, and she goes, "I'm so sorry. I'm just talking your ear off first thing in the morning." And
at least she's like aware, I guess.
It's good
until you sighed, like. Only because you sighed.
Only because I sighed. But even if I did sigh, sometimes she doesn't understand.
Yeah.
So I feel bad. I was just like, I'm just so tired. I don't feel like talking right now.
Yeah. You're not... I mean, you are like not a morning person, but like you're not usually...
I'm not a grumpy person.
Yeah, you're not grumpy in the morning.
But also, stop saying words at me. I like having a slow morning. I like being able to just drink my coffee, eat my food, and just go at my own pace.
Yeah. That's kind of how I am too.
I don't want to do a lot of like thinking in the morning.
Yeah. I'm kind of like that too.
Yeah.
In the morning, but I'm not like not mean, but I'm more quiet.
I didn't mean to be mean, but it was just I was getting so overwhelmed first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Because Atreus was still waking up as soon as I'd get up. And nursing. And I'd have to nurse him before I could finish getting ready for work. And so it was just too much all at once.
Yeah.
And I just wanted a moment of not having to do anything.
Yeah. Do you have any more pet peeves?
I probably do. But I can't think of them.
I think right now I'm thinking of when people don't put the toilet seat down. Oh, and when the toilet paper folds under. I need it to be over the roll.
We learned that from Mom.
Yeah.
But also
it just makes sense because like it like gets stuck and like you're wrapped. I don't know.
Yeah, because you're wrapping like this, and then also
I guess people can wrap like that.
I saw that sometimes like the like spiders or something will be under, and so when they're rolling it up, it comes up this way. But if you're rolling it down, you can like see it.
Well, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess. But wouldn't it still just be on top? I don't know.
But yeah,
it can be hidden either way.
flushing with the toilet seat open, like not just putting. I guess that's what you were kind of saying, but like,
yeah, I guess.
It's not just men. It's people will literally leave their toilet seat up.
Yeah.
And flush the toilet, and there's poop particles going everywhere. Not just on your toothbrush, it's on the toilet paper, it's on the wall, it's getting on your legs. It's freaking nasty.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason why there is a cover.
Yeah.
Close it.
Put it down.
And it's gotten to a point where when Artemis was about like 3 and my mother-in-law was going to watch her, she'd be like, ugh, Lola keeps forgetting to flush the toilet with the seat down.
It's funny because she even this isn't like a pet peeve, but we've been taught to never flush toilet paper in the toilet.
Yeah.
We always throw it in the trash. And so I remember one time I went to the bathroom at your house and Artemis wanted to come into the bathroom with me. So she was standing there watching me use the bathroom, and I wasn't going to put the toilet paper inside the toilet, but I went. She
was like all in your junk. So.
No, she was just standing there by the
okay.
sink, but she was watching me.
Yeah.
Which is whatever. And so I was wiping, and then she was like, "Make sure not to flush it." And I was like, "Yeah, Artemis, I know." Yeah, she's silly, but it's funny that like we learn a lot of like habits, I guess, through or we're raised by.
Yeah, but also there's a reason why you're not supposed to put toilet paper in there. And
it clogs the pipes, but
and also the septic tank.
Oh.
Yeah, so there are some people whose toilets go straight into the sewer, but there's others where people have a septic tank at the bottom of their house, and so then it like clogs it, and it could make the septic tank like overfill, and then you have shit in your backyard. Yeah, but a lot of people's homes are not built with septic tanks anymore. They just go straight to the sewage.
Oh,
but still, it pollutes.
Yeah,
like just don't do that.
So people flush like wipes. It literally says on there,
don't
not
flush
flushable.
Wipes. Even the flushable ones are not flushable.
Really? Why? What makes them flushable then?
I don't know. I think it's just like a marketing thing.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
They're trying to get their money.
Pretty much. That's just how it is.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Another pet peeve of mine.
Well, this is Mom's pet peeve because I literally sent you a video of it, and I said this is Mom's pet peeve, and it's when people are speaking normally, but then like a word that's not in their language comes up and they'll say it with the accent. So like the way that I'll be like,
it's not Mom's pet peeve.
It is, because she gets mad at me when I do it. And so I'd be like, oh yeah, you're gonna turn on Ignacio, and she goes, it's Ignacio. And I was like,
yeah, she does, because she also says
I'm speaking English.
Costa Rica. So
Costa Rica, yeah. But you can still say Costa Rica, but...
Well, she says that, like, it's not supposed... That, I don't know, that, like, American accent
but
is Costa, but, like,
you don't
nobody
say the
says
West Coast.
No, because it's coast with an A, but Costa.
I guess so.
Yeah. West Costa.
But you also... Hold on, what's another one? Oh, you...
Something like you say? Yeah, I don't... Like, I understand her logic.
Yeah, it is really annoying because it's usually the people who studied abroad, and so they'll be like
Mexico.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Or they'll be like, do you want a croissant?
I think if it's like jokingly, it's fine. But like,
no, but they're like dead
fully,
serious.
Yeah. I can see how that's annoying.
Do you want a tamale?
Yeah.
Tortilla?
Like that guy. Like the guy at the Korean barbecue. Tortilla.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhat cute sometimes when they do it.
Because they're trying to be like...
I think it's like, okay, when it's white people.
Yeah.
When it's white people I'm like,
who have gone abroad. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, or like they're just trying too hard.
Like, when I was studying abroad, I ordered a margarita pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is it's like a silly pet peeve.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not like that bothersome, I guess. Or maybe like I don't come across a bit. Like,
yeah, I think my pet peeves have died down. Oh, that's one. Sorry. I want to say this is like the neurodivergency in me, but when people when there are party games or board games and people make up their own rules.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. You did something
that.
That
pisses me off. And so
like Uno.
Like Uno,
people have
but
house rules.
I said specifically.
It's okay, guys. She speaks Spanish. You have hair all over you.
But specifically, White Elephant. That pisses me off.
Okay, so I've only played White Elephant like 2 or 3 times maybe now. So I'm still kind of like new to the rules for them. So I just play with whatever people tell me. But I'm sure that there's rules.
There are rules, and it's to the point where I will not play party games. Not at baby showers. Not at Christmas parties. Like, if it is a game that you did not make up, like it's not original game that you made up, I will not play it because you're not playing by the rules. Or board games. Like, you can't just make up your own rules for the board games because you don't understand the rules.
I am a rule follower too when it comes to games.
And it's specifically with games because there are other rules in the world that I feel like sometimes you can bend those. But
I think for games, like,
that's the point of the game.
Yeah, it's like fair.
Yeah. And Bluey does a really good like job in an episode where one of the little dogs wants to play games and they're making up rules as they go, but then when it gets to a difficult part to stay with the rule, she'll want to change the rules, and Bluey's like, no, you can't just change the rules because it's hard. That makes it fun, is that you have to figure out a different way to do the thing. And I'm just like, exactly.
That reminds me somewhat, it's not a pet peeve, but it's when I worked with kids, a lot of the younger kids would want to play specific games with me and be like, can we play this game? And I would not like go easy on them because they're young. Like, you gotta follow the rules. Yeah. And you also can't be a sore loser. Like,
that's why having siblings is important, because you learn how to win and how to lose. Yeah. That's
like, I guess that's kind of like another pet peeve, like being a sore loser. Like,
yeah, you can't win all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you have to learn.
It's so annoying.
It's like someone has never learned disappointment and how to deal with disappointment.
They're like spoiled, they get everything they want.
Yeah.
I had a kid who was 4 or 5, and he was the only kid. He was his only child at that point because he was so young. He was spoiled. He, like, anytime I like, we're like, oh, like, we would play like literally Candyland. Like, Candyland is just by chance. You have no skill,
no strategy.
Nothing. I would pick a card and I'd like move ahead of his like little figure. He'd be like, no! He would like scream and like cry. I'm like, oh my god, I can't be mean to you because you're not my kid.
Yeah.
But it was really frustrating.
I think another pet peeve too is people who are just haters for no reason. Yeah. There was this like lady that I used to work with, and first thing Friday morning, because that's when her friend would be like in the office. First thing Friday morning, they would just be complaining about their county job. And I'm like, dude, it is literally 8:01 in the morning. Shut the fuck up. Why are you complaining? Quit your job then. Go away.
That is another, like, complaining in general.
Yeah.
I don't like complaining. Not that I don't complain, because I definitely do.
Because people do complain, but when it is excessive, that as soon as you open your eyes in the morning, you are complaining about something until you close your eyes at night. That shit's annoying. Yeah. Being around negative energy is so irritating.
Yeah. Because you just like, it's kind of like when I talked about last episode, the toxic positivity. Yeah. It's like the opposite of that. Like, you have to have a balance.
You're such a pessimist. Like, don't be a pessimist. Just be a realist. Kind of just accept that bad things happen, but also you can complain about them a little bit, because venting's important. But when you're just complaining about everything,
I think those people need help. Those people probably need a therapist. Yeah. To like talk about all of the complaints that they have in the world.
I bet their therapist is gonna be like, is there anything good that goes on in your life at all?
Yeah. This is a kind of different topic, I guess, but for therapy, I feel like people only go to therapy when they are like needing support and like something in their life that's like going bad or whatever. And I think about it, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense why a lot of people don't end up going to therapy until something like tragic happens.
Yeah, but also I think that everybody can use therapy because even though nothing bad has happened, what tools do you have when something bad does happen? Yeah. And why wait until something bad has happened to learn those tools?
Yeah.
To deal with that.
Yeah.
Like therapy should be preventative as well.
Yeah. It's a preventative service too.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are some of our pet peeves. I don't know if I have any more. Probably not that I can think of right now.
But if you think of some,
let us know.
That was so weird. Why did I point?
Because you're millennial.
I hate that. But if you think of some,
if you think of any, send them, and we'll maybe
make another episode.
Do a part 2.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that we'll have more.
Yeah, maybe people will have pet peeves of things that I do.
Yeah. Like point. Just kidding. What's her name? Andrea from Love Island. Is Rob a good kisser? Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, she did a little spin. That was cringy. Yeah. Anyway.
She was spiraling. She was literally spiraling.
Love Rob. I mean.
Well, she said
we can't. She hate on her for that because Rob. Sorry, Leah.
Leah.
Yeah.
She don't care. She
doesn't care anymore. But I'm just saying.
Who would also be like.
But you know. What? Oh,
Miguel.
Yeah, you would be that.
I was getting a tattoo when Miguel dropped.
Oh.
And I turned and looked at her, and she goes, "Oh, so that's your type?" And I was like.
The way Patrick looks something like him.
I guess we could talk about that maybe later down the road is type versus preference and things like that because
Anyway, thank you for listening or watching.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.